I have here with me Pastor E.L. Bynum. He pastored for 44 years the Tabernacle Baptist Church in Lubbock, Texas. And he's edited the Plains Baptist Challenger and just been a tremendous influence upon a number of preachers, including myself. And we're fortunate enough to have him here celebrating his 60th anniversary in the gospel ministry. And so I didn't want to miss this opportunity, so I've asked him to answer some questions, which a number of folks have given me. And so I'm going to be sharing those with you by way of video here. And so we're going to go to Pastor Bynum and ask some questions. Thanks for joining us. What brought you the greatest joy in your ministry? A highlight or two?
Well, I'd say the greatest joy in my ministry is seeing people saved and baptizing them and discipling them and seeing them go on to serve the Lord. That, to me, that's the very essence of the Great Commission. And when you see that, you know that you're following what Jesus commanded His church in Matthew 28. And to me, that's the greatest thing. And then building their lives and see them grow in the Lord and perhaps have children and see it repeated in the children's lives and goes on can go on for generations in a long ministry, and that can be a tremendous blessing.
How did you deal with the disappointments in the ministry and stay encouraged when there were times of discouragement?
I think that there were many discouragements, but I knew what God wanted me to do, or I felt like I did, and that there were discouragements along the way. I had seen discouragement in the lives of other ministers, and in reading the Bible, there were many people that were discouraged, like Elijah, but I found out from reading the book that there's no place to let discouragement keep you down. You may fall down, but you always get up. And I never thought of giving up, and I knew that the will of God was the important thing, and that I must do it in spite of, as they used to say, hell or high water. Mm-hmm. That may not be correct, but nevertheless, you have to keep that and then stay close to the Lord. In times of great difficulty, you need more time in prayer, more time in the Bible, and let yourself be encouraged in the Lord. That's where encouragement comes from. It's not from inside us, but it's from the Lord.
Did you have any people along the way that were encouragers in your life?
Oh yes, I've always had someone that would encourage me. My wife was always an encouragement, and also I usually had preacher friends or church members, men that knew me and loved me, that would encourage me and say, "We're behind you, preacher, just keep on preaching and keep on going." And that's what I did.
Amen. How did you keep a sweet spirit in the midst of difficulties in the ministry?
That is a very good question, because there are situations that you get into that are very difficult to deal with, but you have to realize that you're dealing with sinners. They may be sinners saved by grace, but they're capable of making mistakes, and I always realized that I was capable of making a mistake, and I just kept on going and asking the Lord for help. And with difficult people, you have to remember that Jesus loved us, and in spite of everything that is in us before we were saved and after we're saved, and we're supposed to display the love of Christ in our lives. And there are some people that it's difficult to have a sweet spirit, but I've been able, by the grace of God, to accomplish that pretty well.